Alright guys, here we are. This is the Criterion Blu-ray wheel. All the Blu-ray Criterion titles in my collection, and there's quite a lot there as you can see, are on this wheel. And so when I spin the wheel, whatever title it lands on will be the one I'll do a review on. Kind of a fun way hopefully to do a random review. And without further ado, here's the wheel spin. Where it stops, nobody knows. But here we go. Looks like it's going to be The Sweet Smell of Success. Great Burt Lancaster, Tony Curtis movie. And I'll be back with that review in just 1 minute. All right, guys, I'm going to take a break from what I've been watching here and go and get the video in question. My Criterions are all here. Box sets over in here and here and here, except for China Beach. And DVDs here and all along here, except for the box sets. Standard Blu-ray cases are along here, but we're going to find Sweet Smell of Success right up here at the very top row. Because these are the ones that are boxed in a little more elaborate cases, slipcover type cases, as opposed to just the standard Blu-ray case. All right. So let's take a look at this film. I've certainly seen it. Happy to do a review of this. First of all, it's directed by Alexander McKendrick. And really, this is the only film I'm familiar with by him. I haven't done a lot of homework on that particular director, but this one alone is plenty good enough for me. It does star, as I mentioned, Burt Lancaster and Tony Curtis. And the title is Sweet Smell of Success, not The Sweet Smell of Success. It's a 1957 movie, as it says right there. And the spine number on this is 555. On the back, take a little closer look. It's 96 minutes long. It's in black and white. It's monaural. It's 1.66 to 1 aspect ratio. In the swift, cynical, sweet smell of success, directed by Alexander McKendrick, Burt Lancaster stars as the vicious Broadway gossip columnist J.J. Hunsaker, and Tony Curtis as Sidney Falco, an unprincipled press agent Hunsaker ropes into smearing the up-and-coming jazz musician romancing his beloved sister. Featuring deliciously unsavory dialogue in an acid, brilliantly structured script by Clifford Odets and Ernest Lehman, and noirish neon cityscapes from Oscar-winning cinematographer James Wong Howe, Sweet Smell of Success is a crackingly cruel dispatch from the killer-be-killed wilds of the 1950s Manhattan. Yeah, this movie is one that's going to appeal to a lot of people. It is in black and white, so you don't see the, you don't see all the bright lights, but you do see a lot of lights, and so you get the sense that this is a crackling city. You definitely get a sense of 50s New York here. It's very atmospheric in that the jazz club where the jazz musician plays is suitably smoky and so on. Hunsaker, Burt Lancaster's role, he's evil in a lot of ways, and this really, the power that people had in the 50s in print to make or break people, particularly artists, movie stars and actors and actresses and so on, was significant. And so this is sort of like a Walter Winchell type character, somebody who, if you're familiar with that name, somebody who had a lot of power. I'm talking about J.J. Hunsaker. A lot of power, could make or break people. He dines out with the finest. He could smear a restaurant and the business would go down. So the guy's got a lot of power. The press agent, Tony Curtis, is kind of a bootlicker in some ways. And the Hunsaker's only real weakness is his sister, who is being romanced by this jazz musician. So Lots of extras on this. As you can see, I'm not going to read all these, but you can see. Oh, there's an interesting article here by Neil Gabler called Winchell, Gossip, Power, and the Culture of Celebrity, about legendary columnist Walter Winchell, who was the inspiration for this J.J. Hunsaker character. Yeah, this is gold here, guys. This is going to be a seedy, kind of behind the scenes, gritty take on New York and on the film industry and on Broadway and on nightlife in New York as well. Hunsaker's just got a lot of power, and Tony Curtis is going to come up against that. I don't want to say too much about the movie. I liked it a lot. I'm not going to rate it per se, but I think if you enjoy dialogue and kind of I don't want to say a simple plot, because every plot is simple to me. Take Gone with the Wind, it's a fairly simple plot, isn't it? But it's a fairly simple plot nonetheless, yet with a lot of characters kind of swarming around here in the plot. Key, of course, would be Hunsaker and Tony Curtis's character, and those two are at odds with each other at times in the movie, and at times they're sort of working together. So it will appeal to you if you want to see kind of like the underbelly of the city, but not from like a crime area. It's not that. It's more like the glitzy, dinners in the nightclubs, but yet it's behind the scenes of that. So it's kind of what goes on after the column's been written, and in order to suck up to people, and then again, Burt Lancaster's sister plays a key role, or J.J. Hunsaker's sister, I should say, plays a key role in the movie as well. She is his only weakness, so to speak. I think it asks a lot of questions about the power of the media, the power to make or break people, whether those people have too much power, the whole Broadway, New York vibe, and this is strong. So if you like the sound of that, you'll probably like this movie. It's on the Criterion Collection for a reason, obviously, and the reason is because it's a very good film. It's in English, obviously, so that's probably a good thing. For those of you who don't want to read subtitles, I know there's a lot of you out there. I'm not a huge fan of the subtitle, but sometimes I think it's the best way to view the movie. And I just have to pay attention even more, which you should when you watch the movie anyway, I guess. And I've gotten pretty good at reading the subtitles, so it doesn't bother me as much as it does some. I know Toddy Walnuts had commented, and I think Falagar 517 Sammy had said that he's another person who's not a real fan of reading the subtitles. So good. It's in English, no subtitles here. Something you can watch and be half distracted and still catch what's going on. And there's some benefits to that too. So again, Sweet Smell of Success, Tony Curtis, Burt Lancaster, real good role for both of them, and they certainly are legendary actors in this country. Okay, here is the sleeve off the set. Nothing too fancy there, but it's a well-made sleeve. And then the actual inside, it shows a picture of the sister here, kind of looking out over the New York City area. Bright yellow on the inside to kind of match the letters on the front. Same thing with the disc, bright letters there. Which is, it's odd in a way because it's such a bright, sunny inside. The yellow's not is much brighter than it looks on the screen here, as opposed to the story, which is not bright and sunny at all. I'm gonna flick through this a little bit. Of course, with Criterion, always this is a pretty thick booklet. What do we got here? It's over 50 pages of a thick book with it, and that's why it's in the box set. Stuff about the directing, about the screenplay, critical analysis, and so on of the film. Yeah, really good stuff. And you learn a lot reading these books. I have not read this one. I read parts of it. I have not read all of it, I must admit. I'm tempted to read it while I'm watching the movie, but that's the wrong time to read it. You really should read it after you watch the movie. or before you, maybe, well, no, not before, after you watch the movie. So I'm liking the booklet with it. I have read part of it. I think the artwork on this is great on the set itself, and really enjoy that. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up my review of Sweet Smell of Success. Hopefully, you'll enjoy this movie, and if it sounds like something you'd like, go ahead and pick it up. You can pick this up for about $19.99 when Barnes & Noble has their sale. I think it's well worth it. The extras on it, very interesting, and I think you'd enjoy it.